Hello everyone, it's Mr. Barbier. So we have today's topic, which is simplifying linear expressions. So we're going to identify the steps for simplifying algebraic expressions, and then we're going to practice. So let's take a look at our notes. Simplifying linear expressions is an important skill. To simplify linear expressions, follow these steps. Step 1. Use the distributive property to eliminate parentheses. Draw arrows to every term inside the parentheses and multiply the outside number by all coefficients and constant terms. Step 2. Combine like terms using the money and debt method. Step 3. Any terms that cannot be combined are left exactly the same. So ladies and gentlemen, here you have your classwork. Okay, I will leave for you to do this classwork on your own. Okay, but I have similar problems for us to work on together right now as a part of this video, right here. Okay, let's take a look at example 1 of simplifying linear expressions. So we have 1, 2, 3 terms, but only 2 of those 3 terms are like terms. Okay, let's keep it simple. I like to call a variable term a couple and a constant term a single. Constant term is any number, or to use a mathematical term, any integer that does not have a variable assigned to it, no letter next to it whatsoever. That's what we call a constant. Do you see any constants in question number 1? If you said yes, -8 is a constant because there's no variable touching it, and so is +10 is a constant because there's no variable next to it. You would be correct. They are constants, and therefore they are like terms. N, however, is what we call a variable term because it has no, it's not just a number. It is a variable with an invisible coefficient, right? And we know what any variable without a number next to it, we know that that number is always an invisible one, which is called a coefficient. So we have 2 singles, we have 1 couple, we have 1 variable term, we have 2 constant terms. Let's combine the 2 constant terms. Let's make a shape, a box around the -8. Let's box the +10. We are going to combine these 2 terms using the money and debt method. If I owe you $8 and I have $10 in my pocket, what am I left with? If you said $2 change, you are correct. And because you have 2 left in your pocket, that is a +2. Now, what happens with this N? Guess what? We just bring it straight down. Now you might say to me, Mr. Barbier, what now? N plus 2, is that 2n? No, absolutely not. This is my answer. Now I know what you're thinking. Wait a minute, how can that be the answer? It's not just one number. It's like you have an n and a 2. Don't you have to do something with it? No, we can't do anything with it. You know why? Very simple. N and +2 are not like terms. And because they're not like terms, I can't combine them. N plus 2 is my answer. It is a binomial. I leave it like that. So the goal of simplifying linear expressions is very simple. Take something that's long and make it short. Okay, that's it. Let's look at number 2. Number 2 says -5n plus 9n. We have only 2 terms here. My question to you is very simple. Are they like terms? If you say yes, because they both have the variable n, you are correct. So let's box negative 5n. Let's box positive 9n. And let's use money and debt to combine them. So I owe $5. I only have $9. Owe 5, have 9. I have enough money to cover my debt. So I pay the $5 and I'm still left with what? $4? Now, question, is that $4 in debt, or is that $4 that you have left over in your pocket? Now, if you say it's $4 that you have left over, then you are correct, because you still have money left. You had more money than you owed. Don't forget to keep the variable n. Positive 4n is the answer. Let's look at this one, number 3. Now, what would be great is if you can pause the video right now and try that one by yourself. Okay? Now, if you did do that, great. And if you're still a little stuck and you need a little bit more instruction, that's okay too. So let's try this problem together. 7x minus x. You might say, Mr. Barbier, wait a minute, I'm a little confused. X doesn't have a number next to it. What do I put? Don't forget that invisible 1. Okay? If you see a variable without a partner, give that variable a partner. And now we can combine our like terms. And why are they like terms? Well, they both have an x. Let's combine them. Let's combine them using money and debt. I have $7 and I owe $1. Pay the dollar that I owe. Still left with what? $6 cash in my pocket. You are correct. Keep the variable x. 6x is the answer. Let's look at question number 4. Again, pause the video. Try this one by yourself. Once you're done pausing, let's see if you're correct. Negative 20n. Negative 13n. Let's not forget, the subtraction sign makes the 13n negative. Are they like terms? If you said yes because they both have an n, you'd be correct. Let's box negative 20n. Let's box negative 13n. And let's use money and debt. I owe $20 to my mother, and guess what? I borrowed another $13 from her. Okay? So now, what is my total debt to my mom? If you say, well, I have to add these two numbers because I owe and I owe, you'd be correct. Work it out on the side if you're not sure. And the answer, negative 33n is correct. If you got that right, give yourself a check. Awesome. Let's move on to this one. Write it down. I'll give you a minute to solve it on your own. Okay, let's see if you're right. Hopefully you paused the video and gave yourself the opportunity to solve it by yourself. I have 1, 2, 3 terms. Which ones are like terms? If you said negative 8x and positive 3x, you'd be correct. How come negative 2 is not a like term? There's no variable next to it, correct? This is a single. These two are couples, okay? So let's combine the two couples using money and debt. You owe $8. You only have $3 to pay that person. You give them the $3. What's the situation? If you say you still owe $5, you'd be correct. Negative 5x. Drop the negative 2. Question, can we combine these two terms? If you said no, because this is a variable term, it's a constant term, you are correct, and this is my answer. Very simple, right, guys? Very simple. Come on. You know you got this. Let's move on to number 6. Again, pause the video. Try that one by yourself. Okay, let's check your answer. Negative 9 minus 10n plus 5. Where do you see like terms? If you said that -9 is a constant and +5 is also a constant, right? You're thinking, Mr. B, I see two singles. This is a couple right here in the middle. I'm not looking at that right now. I'm only looking at the two singles. I'm going to combine them using money and debt. You owe $9, but you only have 5. Give up the 5 you have. What's the situation? If you said that you owe $4, you would be right. Now the -10, some of you are telling me, Mr. Barbier, wait a minute, where do I put it? Do I put it on the right? Do I put it on the left? Honestly, in either direction, the answer would still be mathematically correct, but we prefer for the answer to be in standard form, and that means this -10n will go to the left side. Variable term on the left, constant term on the right, that's called standard form. This is my answer. Now, let's look at some problems with parentheses. The very first step that we read in simplifying linear expressions, it said very simply, right? Use the distributive property to eliminate parentheses. Draw arrows to every term inside the parentheses and multiply the outside number by all coefficients and constant terms. This is the first time that we will actually apply that first step. So let's do it. I have parentheses. I must eliminate the parentheses first. Ladies and gentlemen, that is extremely important. Okay? Some of you are thinking, wait a minute, Mr. B, can I just do 2 plus 5? 100% no. You cannot do 2 plus 5. Okay? First step always is to eliminate parentheses. So, how do we do it? Distribution. Okay? Don't forget to draw my beautiful arrows, please. Now, let's distribute. Let's distribute. So, 5 times -3x is -15x. Okay? And 5 times +4 is +20. Now, after you are done distributing the +5, the parentheses go away, and I just bring down the 2. So now we have 2 minus 15x. Let me make that look a little bit better. Okay? Guess what we have now, ladies and gentlemen? We have the same exact thing we had earlier in the lesson. Okay? We have 3 terms, and only 2 of them are like terms. Which 2 are like terms? If you said 2, +2, and +20, you would be right. Now, please don't make the mistake of thinking that this minus sign goes with the 2. It does not. Okay, that minus goes with the 15x. That minus makes the 15x negative. The 2 is positive, and the 20 is also positive. We're going to use the money and debt method to combine these two. You have $2 and you have another $20. So if you have and you have, guess what? You still have, right? How much? $22. Take the -15x and let's drop it to the left-hand side. Now you might be thinking, Mr. Barbier, wait a minute, I have a problem. Blank space. Do I just leave it empty? Absolutely not. The 22 is what sign, by the way? If I have $2 and I have $20, if you said that the sign of the 22 is positive because you have $22, you would be correct, and I need to put a plus sign there. Once again, answer done. Let's look at another one, number 8. Now, in this situation, I have a negative sign. outside the parentheses, but no number to distribute. Now, some of you might say, well, just drop the parentheses. No, cannot. Not if you have a minus sign touching the parentheses. Now, if it was an addition sign, this is a plus. Guess what? You can drop parentheses because I would be distributing a positive 1. And multiplying a positive 1 by anything does not change the value of that number. But it's a minus sign. Because it's a minus sign, I must put an invisible 1 right here. Some of you did know that. I'm glad that you remembered. And we're going to distribute a negative 1 to the 6 and to the negative 12. Again, remember, distribution is multiplication, right? What's negative 1 times 6? If you said negative 6, you are correct. And what's negative 1 times negative 12n? Remember, negative times a negative is a positive. Very good. Positive 12n. And just drop the negative 4n straight down. Okay? Now, once again, we have 1, 2, 3 terms. Which 2 are like terms? If you said negative 4n and positive 12n, because they both have the variable n, you would be correct. Let's combine them using money and debt. I owe $4, but I have $12. I pay my $4 debt, and I'm still left with how much money in my pocket? If you said $8, you'd be correct. And then I drop the n. Negative 6 has no like term to combine with it. Just drop it straight down to the right. Keep your expression in standard form. And ladies and gentlemen, this is my answer. Let's look at one last problem right here. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, check it out. Some of you are looking at this problem and saying, wait a minute, Mr. B, I'm not touching that one. Well, yes, you are. And ladies and gentlemen, I'm telling you right now, you got this, okay? You know you got this. If you're feeling confident, pause the video right now, knock it out. If you need a little instruction, I got you, okay? Let's do it. We have 2 sets of parentheses, right? But ladies and gentlemen, don't worry, okay? Don't get scared. Guess what? We just distribute twice. That's all. Just distribute 2 times. So we take the negative 8, we distribute that to the 3a, and distribute negative 8 again to the negative 5, right? And let's just handle that right now. Let's forget this side. One thing at a time, okay? So let's multiply. Negative 8 times 3a, negative 8 times 3 is what? If you said negative 24, you are correct. Don't forget to keep the a. What's negative 8 times negative 5? Don't forget, negative times a negative, pay mind to the sign, right? Is a positive 40. Very good. Now let's distribute the other side, okay? The other part of the expression. Positive 6 times 2a. Don't forget my beautiful arrows, please. Positive 6 times negative 7. Put the little multiplication sign. Positive 6 times 2a is a what? Positive 12a. Very good. Positive 6 times negative 7 is a what? Negative 42. Very good. Now, ladies and gentlemen, the only thing different between this problem and the other problems is that now I have 1, 2, 3, 4 terms, okay? But guess what? Nothing changes, okay? Still look for the like terms to combine. Where do you see like terms? Starting with the variable terms, okay? Starting with the couples. Where do you see couples? If you said negative 24a and positive 12a, you'd be right. Combine those. You owe $24. You have $12. You don't have enough money to cover your debt, which means you're still going to owe money, right? It's going to be negative. Negative what? If you said negative 12a, you'd be correct. Okay? And now, wait a minute, we still have two more like terms. We have the positive 40 and we have the negative 42. We got two singles, don't we? Right? So we got to combine those two singles into one single. Okay? I have $40, but I owe somebody $42. I don't have enough money to pay the person off. So guess what that means? That means I'm still in debt. I still owe. How much money do I owe? If you said $2, you'd be right. And ladies and gentlemen, this is the final answer. Negative 12a minus 2. So folks, if you are with me and you practice that with me, I think you got it, okay? I don't think you have it. I know you have it. So check it out. You're going to now do these 6 problems on your own, okay, as part of your classwork. And you're going to do this worksheet as well, front and back, okay? You're going to do this worksheet, simplify all these expressions, and you're going to simplify these as well, okay? As a matter of fact, this is very similar to what you're going to see on the task exam, all right? So work out these problems, right? You have 2 multiple choice and you have 1 graded response question. Ladies and gentlemen, you got this, okay? I know you got this. Have confidence, keep practicing, and I'll see you for the next video. Take care.